The background, so the song in the background of the commercial is old. You settled? You good? Or done? All right. The background song in this commercial is this old EDM song, electronic dance music. An old EDM song. I hadn't heard it in years, and got stuck in my head. And so I went to look it up. And, just because that's the best way to get a song out of my ear head, at least for me anyway. And I look online and I see it has 672 million views. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit, when did this get so popular, Because I was a fan of EDM before it was cool. And I know that's such a terrible, horrible thing to say. Oh, I was a fan before it was cool. That's not where I'm going with this. I've got that rant saved up for people who became Cubs fans 9 months ago. But I remember adults would always ask, like, oh, what do kids see in this music? It's just noise, And you'd always tell them the same shit. Like, oh, well, it's the rhythm and the beat, and the way it flows. Because you weren't going to tell them, oh, Molly. Of course, Molly. I mean, people don't listen to EDM because it's musically exceptional. They listen to it because they're either on Molly or because it reminds them of being on Molly. It's like what Grateful Dead is to LSD.
Okay.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, it's funny because it's true.
And
I've never done Molly.
But I don't really get into Molly. I don't really get into EDM anymore because it's just not the same anymore. It's all these sober millionaire professionals rehashing the same formulaic beats over and over again. Back in the day, it was some 22-year-old up there 6 hits deep on research chemical, snorting coke and Molly off his turntables, just pouring music out of his soul. I imagine I feel the same way about EDM as, like, an old-timey baseball fan back in, like, 1921. And like, gee, I just can't really get into baseball anymore, I get that it's an inherently, competitive business and all, but it's just gotten so competitive that the players aren't even getting drunk during the game anymore. What's the point?
Yeah, right. And so, yeah.
But, and some people would say, well, maybe you just don't like it anymore because you haven't done Molly in years, It's been years. Maybe you just don't really remember what it's like. No. Okay, you don't just forget what Molly's like, all right? It's not, the Spanish you learned in high school or your wife's birthday or... how to spell your cousin's baby's hippie-ass name, Caitlin with a Q, because she's unique. No, you don't just forget that feeling of unbridled bliss and universal love and the sensation of the vibration of a bass amp sexually stimulating your taint as you sit on the corner of a bathroom sink passionately making out with some girl who in the morning you'll pray was 18 and female. But in the moment none of that matters, as the wisps of her mustache dance across your upper lip like elves dancing in an enchanted forest, praying to an ancient goddess for rain as it comes pouring down through the trees as beads of your own sweat scented with perfume and menthol cigarettes. Everything is perfect. Everything is one. Time stands still. You haven't even noticed that 3 hours have passed. And you're in the back seat of a stranger's car on your way to score some more Molly. And as you approach the apartment building, you realize, oh shit, this is my apartment building. We're going to my place. Oh shit. You start to panic, and in a brief moment of amphetamine-fueled clarity, you hatch a plan. And you volunteer to go up and get it yourself. and you turn and you give one long goodbye kiss to this girl who you're pretty sure was the same one from the club, even though she's a little more Adam's apple-y than you remember. And you step out of the car, your feet hit the ground, and you take the fuck off. You're running like you've never run before. You're sprinting. You're soaring, flying. You've never even seen that movie before, but your mind just finds the lyrics out into the ethosphere out there. Out into this, you run out into the night. You wake up to the light of the rising sun underneath a pine tree, curled up next to some cats you made friends with last night. The taste of that astonishingly tall girl's kiss still on your mouth from the back.
Astonishing.
You make your way home along the barren 6 a.m. sidewalk, and with a trembling step and a ringing still in your ear, you crawl into your bathtub and puke your guts out for the next day and a half. I guess at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is get drunk when you play baseball.
Yeah! What was the song?